Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie and I'm a nerdy flute player, meaning I do covers of video game, anime, film, TV, music. If that interests you, I will leave a link up in the cards to all of my cover song music videos, as well as a link in the description to all of my streaming services, so you can listen to me on Spotify, Pandora, Deezer, Amazon, wherever you like to stream your music. I am also a Twitch streamer over on twitch.tv/KatieStresko. There you can find me playing games such as Breath of the Wild, as well as board games with my husband and near games. I don't know, a little bit of everything over there. If you like what you're seeing, please consider becoming a Patreon over on patreon.com/KatieStresko. I will leave a link in the description below, or you can make a one-time donation via Ko-fi. And I also have merch. I don't really talk about that very much, but I do have merch. I will leave, there's a link in the description below for that. Pretty much anywhere you want to find me, there's lots of links below of places you can find me on the internet. Today, I have another Dimash reaction and analysis. Let me preface this. A Dimash reaction and analysis, and this is to Sinful Passion. This was from 2018. This is from the International Contest of Young Pop Singers, opening night at the New Wave Hall. That is where this video is from. So yeah, let's dive in. Yay, love a good live band.
Как из лунного сна. О, если б знала ты, что мне нужна, только ты одна.
So far, I'm liking it.
Линии долгие лилии.
Very sultry. And I love a good, just simple piano backing. Now we're getting to some operatic spots. Love it. Oh, that's a bass guitar without the little frets? Or no, it's not frets. I don't know what it is, but interesting. Sorry, I got distracted. I love the addition of the cello. Triangle solo, love it. Love it. I love jumping back and forth between the pop and the operatic, like, voice style. Again, back into this operatic spot, and now we're showing off his higher register. Love it. Beautiful. I love the changes. Love the changes. So powerful. Wow. So well done. So well done. Overall, well done. I really like the backing. I liked that he had a really good mix of of just like the lyrics and then, you know, some of his, I say showy off and that sounds terrible, but it's meant that, I mean that in a good way. His just showing off his vocal range and his vocal prowess and then going into the vocals, into the lyrical parts. Love it. Great job. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and dive into it a little bit more. So before I do that, because of how I do my reactions, where I tend to watch the whole video first before I start doing any analysis and talking, my videos do tend to be copyright claimed. If you like this content, please consider becoming a patron. Patreon.com/KatieShesko. There'll be a link in the description below. Doing that just allows me to continue to produce this kind of content, and any reactions that don't make it to YouTube will be added to my Patreon. So you'll kind of get a couple of bonus reactions. You'll get to know what reactions are coming up, as well as any, you know, just general happenings of what's going on here in the studio. And for higher level patrons, you'll get access to my backtracks. So you can, if you're a flute player, you can play along with my backtracks. Or if you're a different instrumentalist, anyone can play the backtracks. So because this is the analysis section, I will just preface this that yes, I will pause and talk a lot. But I did the reaction, so let's dive into it a little bit further. I really like the very simple piano with Dimash opening. It's really powerful. There's something to be said about simplicity. That was kind of what I was trying to focus on for 2021, was just simplifying, because there is a lot of beauty in simple things. And I really like how he is, instead of starting the song on the stage, he approaches the stage. We always talk about his stage presence. What a way to make an entrance. I love it. You don't see that very often, and I think it works really well for this song. I love like those whisper endings to a phrase for a vocalist. It adds a whole dimension, a demeanor to it. I think it's really cool, and I think it works for this particular song. I mean, the song is Sinful Passion. It's kind of vaguely about like a forbidden love, or like a love that you shouldn't be engaging in because it might be bad for you, or, you know, something like that. So yeah, those kind of whispery ends to phrases, I love it. It adds to the timbre of the song a lot. Perfect. And then triangle solo. Love those triangle dings. And this is a beautiful register for him. And I love how attentive the piano player is to Dimash. He's looking at him, he's getting his cues from him, he's letting Dimash lead, but, you know, he's still the driving force behind it. He's the one that's kind of pushing things forward, especially, you know, as when Dimash isn't singing. Props to the piano player. So well done. Loved it. And you could tell that he's feeling the music just as much, and that's what you want in your background performers. So it's very subtle, but every time he, like the 2 times he says this, they're sung ever so differently. It's very subtle. You have to really be listening for it. And that's something that I work on as a flute player, especially when you're doing classical. There's a lot of repeated section, a lot of reprises. So you don't want to play it, or in this case, sing it the same exact way each time. You want to just change it ever so slightly because it gives the listener something new to listen for. But it still has the same like general emotion behind it, but like, you know, when you have a repeated section, you want to just change it ever so slightly, whether it's like slightly off with the beat or a slightly different dynamic, or like here he's a little bit more forceful the second time around, and it works because the lyric is essentially in English, give me. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it in Kazakh. I'm assuming that this is sung in Kazakh. I don't know. I'm not a linguist. I'm really bad at identifying other languages. Forgive me if I misspeak there. So here again. So again, he's repeating the same lyric, and it sounds completely different than at the start of this chorus. I love it. It's stuff like that that gives it an interesting musical quality, and it makes it feel fresh and new, even though you're repeating the same thing. It has a little bit more oomph and power this time around, and I really like it. This is the part where he's kind of juxtaposing his pop singing with more of his operatic singing, and I really like that. I like that he kind of pushes his voice between the 2 different poppy style and the operatic style. It works really well. Yeah, and I got distracted by this bass player that doesn't have, like, I don't know. I don't play guitar. The little tuning knobs at the end, this bass doesn't have it, and I got really distracted by that first time watch. I don't know why. It was odd. I've never seen a guitar like that. But then again, I don't play guitar, and I don't really know anyone that plays guitar, so even though my brother plays bass guitar. So right there, I love like this taper of, you know, the piano, and it just kind of tapers off, and there's that little space before it comes back in, and then you kind of have this, I thought it was a cello, but there's no cello on stage, so maybe it might just be the bass guitar. That's the disadvantage to when, you know, I'm going into these songs blind, not seeing them before I do my initial reaction. I don't have a chance to like really watch the video and analyze what instruments might be there, or listen. When I do my own arrangements, I listen to this song over and over and over to try to pick out all the different instruments that are used. It sounded like a cello or a string bass at first, but there were no strings on stage that I saw, so I'm assuming it's the bass guitar. Again, I could be wrong. That's the disadvantage to not watching the video over and over. This is the second time I'm going through the video as I'm doing this analysis, so sometimes that means I get my information wrong. It happens. Love the whispery quality here. See, that definitely sounds like a cello of some sort, like a stringed. And I love, like, you can even see on his face with the big screens, like, the emotion behind his singing. I love the whispery quality here. Again, it's a nice juxtaposition between like the very powerful chorus that he just sung, and now here the kind of whispery, the forgotten sounds, hand, face, you are my only need. Like, of course that's going to be more whispery. There's a little bit more emotion. There's power behind those lyrics. And I really like how, you know, again, we're starting to layer more instruments, and I really like how that goes. I know in a lot of my arrangements, I have like a piano. In some of my catalog music, when I was doing music streaming on Twitch, some of my catalog music, stuff that I had never recorded to release, had just a piano and a cello, that nice sultry, like low string, just to kind of give it some bass on top of my flute playing that I was doing live. It's a really nice effect, so I like it here. Again, with the operatic, love it. It's a nice change. So now he's starting to travel into the higher register here, and it's really nice. And again, here we dropped back down to the piano. He kind of reprised the not as operatic, but it is a little bit higher this time. It's a little bit higher than the first time he sung this. So again, when you have those repeated sections, changing up a little, just a little bit is all you really need to have a really nice effect and not make it sound so robotic. That's the difference that you're going to get between like a MIDI instrument and an actual musician. The musician's going to give you those slight differences that's really going to put the emotion in your piece. And again, just it dropped there. It's perfect. Now we have more strings. Now we have, so this one, he's again higher, not quite as operatic this time around for the second. So this is the fourth time he's singing it. Not quite as operatic, but still just as powerful. And now we've added like a violin on top of this cello. So we're slowly building those layers. And then as the song goes on, you know, we get more of that instrumentation. And I really like songs that do it. It's, you know, I like the layer building. I'm a huge fan of that. So, and then here we go to his soloistic part. So I really like the fact that here, this is where you see more of the instruments that were on stage that you didn't see at the beginning. You have the guitar, you have the drum set, you have kind of that timpani sound in the back. Like, it's a lot more full, and it works really well here because he's not like singing any lyrics. He's just kind of showing off what he can do. We're all here to see Dimash show off his vocal range. I like that here they decided to really amp up the instrumentation. I think it's really nice because, you know, the simpler instrumentation before really let the lyrics kind of speak, really let him put the emotion into it. Whereas now, you know, he's just kind of, again, I keep saying showing off like it's a bad thing. That has such a negative connotation, and I don't mean that in that way at all. He's literally showing off what he can do. And I think now is the good time for this arrangement to really pick up with the instrumentation, and it works really well. Like I said, the nice juxtapositions. Really showing off his opera prowess here. And then it doesn't quite drop out. There's still a little bit going on. It's a nice transition into this part because now he's not going to quite be in that higher register. He's going to be in the lower register for this part. Lower-ish, I guess. Which sounds like a little bit like throat singing. I know that that's kind of traditional in this general area of the world. There's like a throat singing. I don't know much about it. I'm not going to claim to have any knowledge about it, but I'm kind of getting that throat singing aspect to it. I really like it. And here they kind of dropped all the instruments except for like those drums. So we talked about this in one of my other reactions of like how, you know, that's kind of the early onset of music was drums and voices. It was voices, and then, you know, they added drums, and I think we were talking about like the sabuzga. Someone thankfully told me how to pronounce this, the sabuzga, and I'm still probably mispronouncing it. But these are like, you know, some of the first iterations of instruments, and it kind of brings us back to like that old time, that kind of tribal feeling, you know, back pre-industrial and back when, you know, people were living off the land. So it kind of evokes that, you know, deep sense of human connection. So it's a really nice touch here. That nice soft drum roll. Again, impressive. So well done. I mean, just to have the breath support, to have that note sustained and in tune, and not like it seems like there was a slight glitch in the video, you know, to have it so steady like that takes a lot of practice, a lot of training to be able to do that. That stuff is hard. It's hard to do. Well done. And I was kind of like, with that drum beat, and this, you know, he was bouncing around to it, loved it. So like, he was moving while trying to do that note. Again, that's hard to do. You know, to be moving your body while trying to sustain a note like that without it affecting the note, hard to do. Really, really hard to do. But with that drum beat, I was expecting it to like pick up. It reminds me of The Pretender. Is that Foo Fighters? All right, I looked it up. Foo Fighters. That driving beat, and then it kind of really picks up there. And I was kind of expecting it. And then like the drum beat slowed down a little bit, and then it was just like this very, you know, reprise of the chorus with a lot more instrumentation. Yeah, and it's here that you can really feel that poppy influence, you know, where the chorus is being sung by like background performers, and then like the soloist is just kind of like the oohs and ahs, and the general vocalizations over it definitely hits all of the pop notes, which is really good. I mean, this is the music that I grew up listening to in the 90s. So it just definitely just fondly reminds me of that time and the song and what was popular to do then. And it allows the soloist to really show off. And I wish I would do this more with my flute playing, but I'm not that brave. I don't have any arrangements where I do stuff like that. If I have a solo that wasn't really intended, there's a section for it. I will always play the chorus, or I have always played the chorus at this part. So well done. I think vocalists can get away with it a little bit more than solo instrumentalists, or maybe I'm just not brave to try it. That's very possible as well. And yeah, that kind of was like an unexpected ending. You kind of expect it to go on a little bit more, but it just ends there. And it's a just fine ending. It's just a little unexpected. And I like when my music surprises me. So well done. So well done. I hope you enjoyed this analysis and reaction. If you have any other reactions that you would like me to do, please leave a comment below. I write down all of your suggestions. Again, if this content interests you, please consider becoming a patron. Like, share, subscribe, do all of the YouTube-y things, even if you can't contribute financially. Just engaging with this video helps a lot. Tell all of your friends. Go watch one of my other music videos. It's really appreciated. But honestly, I'm just happy you're here and that you're watching. I really do appreciate all of you. And until the next time, I'll catch you later. Bye.